Oh, we gotta call the meeting in order, we got a lot of stuff to go through real quick.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like we have some new people there, we have some people in the audience, those who don't know me, I'm John Minnick, the mayor of the city of Santee. Also the chair here, and Esther, did I see you? Oh, there's Esther Sanchez, who is our vice chair of the city selection committee. Didn't recognize you from, sorry about that. So let's see, so welcome to everybody that's here, all the mayors, thank you for being here, those who can make it today. Oh my gosh, I can see you.
Oh, wow.
Where are you saying? Oh, nice to see you here. And, let's see, today with me is the, clerk of the, board supervisor, Andy Potter. He's gonna help us. He also takes care of, clerking for this particular, board or committee. And so, we're gonna go through the call the roll and, please answer, out so that we can all hear you as I call your name. And Andrew's gonna mark down that you're here or absent. And so I have, for the city of Carlsbad, council member Teresa Costa, for Mayor Keith Blackburn.
I'm here.
Children District Mayor John McCann.
Present.
Coronado Mayor John Duncan.
Present.
Delmar Mayor, Terry Gasperman.
Yeah, you said it right. Here.
For some reason, I thought I saw pro Tem, and I'm like, that didn't sound right. And so, and then I have Mayor Bill Wells.
Here.
Mayor Bruce Ehlers. Ehlers.
Here.
I knew I'd get that. Ehlers, okay. Mayor Dayton White.
Present.
Imperial Beach, Mayor Paloma Aguirre.
Here.
Thank you. And, Mayor Mark Rathasapis.
Here.
Was I even close?
No, you got it. No, close enough. Well, yeah.
City of Lemon Grove, Mayor Allison Snow.
Here.
Okay, Mayor Ron Morrison.
Here.
Esther Sanchez, we get to here. Mayor Steve Boss.
Here.
And of course, we had a dog warrior sighting, so we know he's here. Mayor Rebecca Jones.
Here.
And I'm here. And Mayor Solana Beach, Lisa Edner.
Here.
And Mayor John Franklin.
Right here.
Holy mackerel, we got everybody here.
Wow.
That's based on great leadership, right?
Yeah.
So arrogant. Okay, so, next on our agenda is a selection of a chair and vice chair. So I'm going to turn it over to, Mr. Potter to, review the process.
Thank you, Chairman. So, in accordance with the rules and regulations of the City Selection Committee of this County of San Diego, the officers of the committee are the chair and vice chair. At the committee's meeting in February of 2023, Santee Mayor Mitchell was selected as chair and Oceanside Mayor Sanchez was selected as vice chair. The term of the chair and vice chair shall be no less than 1 year, nor more than 4 years. Chair and vice chair hold office during the term which they are elected. Since the committee doesn't meet regularly, we included the selection of chair and vice chair as an item with the committee meeting. The method of nomination and selection of chair and vice chair will be the discretion of the committee. The committee may solicit nominations for the chair or a slate of chair and vice chair. Any nominations must have a second, and if the person nominated declines the position, the nomination will be withdrawn. Unsuccessful selection of the chair, council meeting will be conducted by the incoming chair. Be appropriate to consider a nomination for chair or a slate that includes the chair and vice chair or concurrent existing officers.
Thanks, Andrew. Okay, do I hear a motion and a second for chair and vice chair? And if you want, we can do that separately.
Motion to go ahead and nominate Chair Minto for the chair and then for the vice chair, Mayor Sanchez. So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Do we actually need a second on that? Okay, thank you. Okay, are there any other nominations? Okay, not seeing any, we'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you. Just kidding. I don't see you very often. So good. Okay, so, let the record reflect that, chair, will be John Minto, vice chair will be Esther Sanchez. And Andrew, is there any requests from the public to speak on, okay, since we've done, we took care of all that business. And so then, let's see, well, Esther, did you want to say anything about being, elected to the vice chair?
Well, just to say that I'm happy to know just about everybody personally and those who I haven't, that, you know, have lunch and stuff, I will definitely look at that. Thank you very much.
And we did so much work over the last couple of years too, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna keep moving right along here. You know, something that I would like to do, because I think we're scheduled to do APCD first. Can we move LAFCO up since there's only a couple positions and we get that done first? Would anybody have any heartburn over that? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move. Oh, okay. I forgot about this one. Okay, so do we have, is there anybody who would like to move to approve the meeting minutes from February 22, 2023?
So moved.
Second,
Who was that? I didn't hear.
Mayor McCann.
Stand 2 seconds.
Second by Esther. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Abstentions? All right. Okay. You did what? 6 and 7 together? Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Sorry, this is the first time I'm seeing this script. Okay. Item number 6 and 7 we'll take together. That is, item 6 is the appointment of a regular member from the East County Subregion to local agency formation committee, LAFCO, not LAUGH. For the term beginning May 5, 2025 to expire May 2029. And on number 7, appointment of alternate members from the South County region to the local agency formation commission to fill the 2-year term to expire May 4, 2027. So I'll go ahead and turn that over to him.
Thank you, Chairman. So included in your packet and posted online for the public is a request from the San Diego Local Agency Formation Commission, or LAFCO, requesting the committee to make 2 appointments to LAFCO. There's a rotation as part of the committee's rules and regulations. Based on the 2025 rotation, the committee's appointments to LAFCO will be representatives from the East County region and the alternate member from the South County region. The North Inland subregion consists of Escondido, Poway, San Marcos, and Vista would rotate off the commission. East County subregion consisting of the cities of El Cajon, La Mesa, Lemon Grove, and Santee need to fill the existing term that expires May 4th, 2025, and make an appointment for a new 4-year term beginning May 5th, 2025, and expiring on May 4th, 2029. The South County subregion, consisting of the cities of Chula Vista, Coronado, National City, and Imperial Beach, need to fill a new term for an alternate member with a term that begins May 2nd, 2025, and expires May 1st, 2027. Essentially, the appointments will be made based on the rotation of the nomination rights assignments to subregions and specific to the 2025 rotation schedule. Pursuant to the rules and regulations of the committee, each mayor from the respective subregions can nominate an individual. The respective subregions can also collectively submit 1 nomination to this committee, with the understanding that there's been some dialogue and consideration about nomination. We'll note that the city selection committee does retain discretion, including waiving its rules and regulations and making appointments to LAFCO. So the first item, Chair Mitchell, would be for the East County Sub-Region appointment for regular member to LAFCO to fill the existing term that expires May 4th, 2025. Again, the cities for the East County Sub-Region include El Cajon, La Mesa, Lemon Grove, and Santee.
Thank you. Did we receive any, written nominations for that? Don't, that particular- Okay, I got it. Okay, I have a nomination for Mayor Dane White. Actually, I will make that nomination. Is there a second?
Second.
Are there, is Dane White? I'm sorry, who was that? Was that Teresa? No.
Mayor Jones.
Oh, Mayor Jones. Sorry, I didn't see you back there. Are there any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Jennifer Mendoza from the city of Lemon Grove.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second on that?
Second.
Okay, so, then that was Mayor Heber. Are there any other nominations? Okay, the way that we'll handle this is we will call a roll and, I think the best way of doing that is, we'll just take the first one, which was, Dane. And, what I'll do is I'll call the roll and say which person. Does anybody have any heartburn over that? No better way of doing that since we have two? Because everything has to be a vote in public, no silent votes. Okay, let me call the, roll then on this. And just like I said, say the person. Councilmember Acosta,
Jennifer Mendoza.
thank you. Mayor McCann,
Mayor White.
Mayor Duncan,
Mayor White.
Mayor Gasterlin,
Mayor White.
Mayor Wells,
Mayor White.
and Mayor Ehlers.
Mayor White.
Thank you. Mayor Gary,
Mendoza.
thank you. Mayor Harassment
White.
Mayor Snow,
Mendoza.
Mayor Morrison,
Mayor White.
Mayor Sanchez,
Mayor White.
Mayor Voss,
Mayor White.
Mayor Gloria,
Mendoza.
Mayor Jones,
Mayor White.
and I select Mayor White, Mayor Edner,
Mendoza.
Mayor Franklin.
Mayor White.
So I think Dane,
Yes.
okay, so Dane, you will be the appointee, are you over there?
Yep, thank you.
And then is Jennifer? Thank you. All right,
Chairman, I'll just note for the record that as part of that action, the committee will waive the existing rules and regulations to appoint Mayor White to as East County Sub-Region representing city of Escondido.
great, thank you very much. And then let's go to the South County alternate. And do we have, there are no nominations at this time, so
I'll make a nomination, Chair.
uh, Mayor Duncan,
Nominate Mayor McCann for the alternate position for the South County Sub-Region. Second. And just a quick point of order, I'm not sure if it's required, but just so we don't end up having to do this again, I would call for public comment before we vote. If it's required.
oh, no, absolutely right. I'm trying to go through this.
Yes, sir.
Is there any public comment so far on any of this, on the LAFCO appointment? Okay. Sorry about that, folks.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm nominating Mayor McCann for the South County Sub-Region as LAFCO. And the second was Mayor Morrison. Thank you.
Okay, and other nominations? Okay. Oh, if there are no other nominations, what I'll do is, I'll move that we appoint McCann by acclamation then. Is there a second on that? And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Any noes, abstentions? Great.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Don't let us down.
I won't. If not, my wife will tell me.
Okay, let's, go back to the, page. And I know we probably have some speaker slips on this one, so we'll go first on that. How's that work in there, Duncan? Okay, before we go to that, though, let me, do this. There are proposed changes to the city selection committee and then subcommittees for the APC governing board. So that's next on our agenda, and I'm going to turn it back over to Andrew so that he can explain more about that.
Thank you, Chairman. So included in your agenda packet and posted online to the public are proposed amendments to the rules and regulations for the city selection committee. The proposed amendments revise section 4.5B to update the cities in the supervisory districts following revoting. Essentially, the amendments update the nominating cities for each district or region. And we do not have any requests to speak on this item.
Thank you. And since there's no speaker books on this, do any of the mayors have any questions on this? So what we'll do is there a motion to accept the amendment?
So moved.
Or change?
Second.
Was Esther?
Second.
Second by Rebecca. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Noes, abstentions. Yeah, too easy. Okay, so that takes us to item number 5 here, which is appointment of city council members for each of the 5 supervisorial districts to the air pollution control district governing board. And I do believe that we have some, well, you want to make some comments and then we'll go to speakers.
Thank you, Chairman. So the purpose of this agenda item is to solicit nominations and appoint 5 city representatives to the San Diego County Air Pollution Control District, or APCD, governing board. As described in the California Health and Safety Code, the 5 members selected by the city selection committee shall be one city council member from each of the 5 supervisorial districts. Each of the 5 APCD board members shall serve for a term of 4 years and until that member's successor is appointed. If the APCD board member ceases to be a city council member, then the city selection committee will meet to select a new member in accordance with this process specified in the rules and regulations. Pursuant to the rules and regulations of this committee, there are 5 subcommittees of the city selection committee that are identified to nominate and vote upon the nominations for the APCD board members. It is recommended that this committee take each subcommittee individually to seek nominations, and the members in the subcommittee will vote on those nominations.
Thank you. Are there any clarifying questions?
Chair, I do have a quick clarifying question for the clerk so it states that it's a city council member for each of the 5. Does that include mayors since they're on city council, or it is the mayor's concern as well? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, maybe you've already corrected this, but it says 4-year terms that will expire on March 9th, 2025. I was 2021.
Good, yeah.
Make sure we're not just voting for 2 months.
It takes a scientist to find that. Anybody else? Okay, speaker slips or speakers.
Thank you, Chair Mitchell. We have 5 requests to speak on this item. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the committee. You'll hear the timer when your time is up, and I'll ask you to please state your name for the audio record. We'll bring the microphone to you so you have the opportunity to be heard.
Chair, quick point of order. Would you like them to make the candidates offer comment or?
You hear the speakers first and then.
The first speaker will be Amy Fawcett.
Okay, I'll just stand. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Chair, members of the City Selection Committee. My name is Amy Fawcett. I'm here on behalf of the San Diego Working Waterfront, formerly the San Diego Port Tenants Association. We represent close to 1,000 businesses and thousands of jobs in maritime manufacturing, maritime recreation, hospitality, and in the defense industry. Our members are, regulated by CARB, APCD, Coastal Commission, Regional Quality Control Board, the list goes on. Today, we're here to recommend to you that you, appoint 5 members that we believe will have a pragmatic and data-driven approach. Our coalition endorses these candidates because they do have a strong appreciation for clean air and the understanding of effects of carbon emissions. Yet they understand the challenges businesses are faced implementing due to the technology not yet being available, problems with global manufacturing and supply chains, and the lack of charging infrastructure. The candidates that we support for Supervisor District 1 is Vice Chair and Councilmember Mitch McKay from Imperial Beach. Supervisor District 2, Councilmember Laura Koval from Santee. Supervisor District 3, Mayor John Duncan from Coronado. Supervisor District 4, Councilmember Dr. Jen Campbell from the City of San Diego. And also last, Supervisor District 5, Councilmember Judy Fitzgerald from Escondido. Thank you very much for your consideration. Thank you.
Next speaker is Jack Munger.
Thank you, Mayor Minto, and it's a pleasure to have a chance to speak to you all this morning. I don't think I've ever spoken to so many mayors at one time, ever in my life. So I just want to back up Amy's endorsement list. I represent the Industrial Environmental Association. Our members are manufacturers in San Diego region, approximately 45 large companies that together employ over 50,000 San Diegans in this region. And it has been very, very important first to acknowledge the work that the last 4 years have seen from your ABCD governing board. It has been a lot. They were the first group to begin under that new legislation that our good Mayor Tagliori put together. And it, I think, has all resulted in some positive benefits for the people of the region. Secondly, what I would like to ask this morning, in addition to supporting the list that Amy just read to you, is that what we're offering here, or what we're asking, is that you please give special consideration to the requirements, to the need for this. And I'm sure anybody that was on that previous governing board will tell you that it was a lot of time, a lot of work, super technical stuff. There's a great resource on staff at the APCD to help work through a lot of the very technical issues that the governing board will be faced with, but it is probably one of the most demanding roles, I think, that there is in San Diego County in terms of the time that needs to be put in to be up to speed to vote and take positions on these issues. So we would encourage your consideration as you look at the candidates and give that some thought. So again, thank you for all the work that you do in this regard and the effort that you put into this, and pleasure to speak to you this morning.
Next speaker is Justine Murray.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for being here. My name is Justine Murray. I'm the Executive Director, Public Affairs for the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce. We are proud to represent over 2,200 member organizations and businesses, over 300,000 jobs in our region. I'm going to echo support for the candidates that Amy and Jack just mentioned. For the Chamber, alongside a coalition of industry partners, we collaborated closely with elected leaders from the region to determine a slate of well-qualified, fact-driven individuals that we respectfully recommend for appointment today. Over the past few years, the Chamber and our partners have engaged regularly with the ABCD governing board regarding a possible indirect source rule, other warehouse regulations, and the Tijuana River Valley transboundary pollution crisis. We do recognize the complexity of balancing environmental stewardship with economic prosperity, and therefore nominate the following leaders who have shown a strong understanding of the delicate balance of environmental issues and the economic realities of our region. For District 1, Councilmember Mitch McKay. For District 2, Councilmember Laura Koval. For District 3, Coronado Mayor John Duncan. For District 4, Councilmember Dr. Jen Campbell. And for District 5, Councilmember Judy Fitzgerald. Like my colleagues mentioned earlier, it's extremely important that we take into effect the economic realities of our region. We understand the need to transition to cleaner policies, right? To clean air policies and regulations, but it has to be done with factual evidence of what we're seeing in our region. And as we talk about our economy in the San Diego region, our binational cross-border collaboration being crucial, not just to San Diego's region, but to our state and to the entire country, we have to make sure that these policies we're putting forward actually work for the industry that power our economy and actually have real impacts on the jobs that we can provide to San Diegans. So we just encourage you to think about what these appointments mean and what these appointees are going to be tasked with over their term. Thank you so much for your time today.
Next speaker, Paula Forbes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paula Forbes. I'm the Air Pollution Control Officer for San Diego County, and it's a pleasure to be here in front of you today. For those of you that you've heard some of the comments from our other stakeholders here today, I just want to echo that San Diego County has made a lot of progress towards clean air, and our mission is to achieve state and federal air quality standards for public health and the environment. And we take that job very seriously. I lead a team of over 170 professionals, and we have a budget of approximately $120 million to achieve these goals and to achieve clean air for all for San Diego County. So I really thank you for your consideration of appointments today. I have a few staff members here today. I want to just get to raise their hands. Marvis Mazik is our clerk of our governing board. And so for those appointees that are here today, I'd ask that you connect with Marvis immediately after to be sworn in. And then we also have Alina Meza, our government relations coordinator, as well as Heidi Gabriel Pack, our counsel. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about the district. And again, thank you for your consideration today.
Last speaker is Nicholas Powell.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicolas Baul. I am a clean air policy advocate with the Environmental Health Coalition. For those of you that are not familiar with our organization, we've been working in the San Diego region for over 45 years now, advocating for better health and safer communities. I wanted to speak today to comment our support for a few candidates today. For District 3, we are supporting Teresa Costa. For District 4, Councilmember Genevieve Suzuki of the City of La Mesa. And for District 1, incumbent Marcus Bush. In District 5, Mayor Sanchez. We hope that they can continue to serve. They've been incredible advocates for clean air on the ABC governing board for several years now. Thank you very much.
Here, that concludes public comment on this item.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your comments. I appreciate that. And, before I go on, do we have any questions from the mayor before we move? So, and as a reminder, members of the subcommittee can nominate and vote on the name people from the district. And then there'll be a vote of the entire selection committee. So let's begin with nominations and votes from Supervisor District 1. Subcommittee includes Chula Vista, Imperial Beach, National City, and San Diego.
I'd like to nominate.
I'd like to nominate Councilmember Marcus Bush, and I just want to say for the record that I would have liked to nominate as an alternate Councilmember Mitch McKay. And it was revealed that we do not have alternates on APCD, so I see a huge need there to do a legislative fix to address that. Thank you.
I will second that.
A second from Ron.
Just a quick clarification question, if I could. Now, it says in here that it will be selected by the committees representing those cities. So when we actually do the selection, which is the vote, is it of all the mayors or just those 4 cities?
Just those.
Okay, I just wanted to get that clarified. It didn't sound that way a moment ago.
Oh, okay. Okay, are there any other nominations from that district? Okay, not hearing any. So, we'll vote and, you want to vote that? Or- Sure.
So for representing the first district supervisorial subcommittee, Chula Vista Mayor McCann.
Aye.
Mayor Duncan, Coronado.
Aye.
Mayor.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You're the wrong one.
Just changed, thank you very much.
I am the South Carolina.
Imperial Beach Mayor Geary.
Aye.
And National City Mayor Morrison.
Aye.
And San Diego Mayor Gloria. Aye. With the majority of the subcommittee members present, National City, City Council Member Marcus Bush received the majority of the votes cast and has been selected to represent District 1 on the ABCD board.
This is Steve Marcus. Pass along our congratulations. Okay, then we will go on to, District 2. And that will be Oklahoma, Poway, San Diego, and Santee. And of course, I'm going to nominate Lord Koval for that position. There's second. Second by Wells. Is there any other nominations? Okay, then, we'll close that. And all in favor, say aye from that district. Aye. Opposed? No. And abstentions? Great, congratulations. Was easy. Think we needed to actually call it right down the list, so. Okay, next, District 3, we'll consider Supervisor District 3, that includes Carlsbad, Coronado, Del Mar, Encinitas, San Diego, and Solana Beach. Are there any nominations?
Yeah. I'd like to nominate Carlsbad Councilmember Teresa Costa.
There a second? Second by Gloria. Are there any other nominations from the 3rd district?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Mayor Chula.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Gasson. Are there any other nominations? Okay, I don't see any. So what we'll do is I'll have you go ahead and call that roll since we have one. And just answer to the person that you choose in that district.
Representing City of Carlsbad, Councilmember Costa.
Teresa Costa.
Coronado Mayor Duncan.
Duncan.
And Del Mar Mayor Gaston.
Okay.
Encinitas Mayor Ellers.
Okay.
Mayor, San Diego Mayor Gloria. And Solana Beach Mayor Heber.
Costa.
That's a tie.
That's a tie. Okay, what we can do is, according to the Robert's rules, we can either continue to have a vote until it changes. And is there, do you recall anything that gives us, like, I can just, wave a wand or anything? Okay.
Questions?
Maybe what we can do is have each of the candidates give a statement, and that may sway somebody's opinion. So since Teresa was nominated first, we'll have her go first.
Sure. So, I don't think I need mine. Hi, Teresa Costa, City of Carlsbad. I appreciate all the interest and commentary from the speakers. And I'm so proud to put myself forward for this because I've worked in air quality management for the last 4 years as a policy analysis analyst in my day job.
And I do believe that there is a lot of technical analysis that needs to be done for air quality management. We also need to be very collaborative and understand all the stakeholders. So I'm a business owner for the last 14 years. I'm very collaborative. I'm from a city that's very collaborative. And I'm proud to have the support of my mayor, Keith Blackburn, in being nominated for this. He sent in the nomination letter, and I'm so proud to be put forth for this. I'm happy to answer any other questions about my background, but I would say the two most important reasons to pick me are my technical analysis background, my 24 years of government and policy experience, and I'm an environmental justice advocate, but I'm also a business owner and somebody who understands the needs for clean air for our whole region. I'm originally from Pasadena. I see the fires happening right now, and I worry about clean air. I'm also bilingual, and I understand AB 617 communities, which are the most affected by poor air quality. So I hope that you vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, John Duncan, Mayor of Coronado. As mayors, we all have plenty of work to do, and I'm not looking for a resume builder. There's a few specific reasons why I applied for this position. I've spent the last few years working extensively on the Tijuana sewage pollution issue and that major environmental disaster. As many of you may know, currently the air quality is being reviewed. There's studies coming out, I believe one this week, if it hasn't already come out today, from UCSD related to the air quality in the South Bay region from the sewage issue. I advocate extensively on this issue in Washington, DC, 4 trips at least a year. I'm going out there this week again to advocate. We're actually getting funding and things done. So to the extent that the air quality is an issue, I believe that I can leverage what I do on this board and tie it to the sewage issue. A separate important reason, and almost nobody knows, but in my position as a director on SANDAG, which is another way I can hopefully leverage my participation in this board. I've brought up repeatedly that the air quality in Coronado is the same as the air quality in Barrio Logan. Okay, you can check it daily, you can check it regularly. I follow air quality and take it very seriously, as do the sailors in Coronado. And it's something I am passionate about working on. I believe I can use all my relationships on the board at SANDAG, on my various task force I serve on the sewage issue, as well as my strong relationships with the port, Coronado as a port city. I've shown that I'm bipartisan on all these issues when I work on them, including working on air quality issues with Jack Hsu from La Mesa. It's not about party politics to me. It's about getting something done, and making smart decisions in air quality. That's why I put myself out there. And I believe if you don't know me from my the work I do on SANDAG and other boards, I work extremely hard. I'm very prepared, and I practiced law for over 25 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do this again. Councilmember Acosta,
Teresa Acosta.
Mayor Duncan,
John Duncan.
Mayor Gaston,
Duncan.
Mayor Elders. I'm sorry, most of them. I'm gonna call you Bruce. And I'm sorry, who did you vote for? Okay. Thank you. And Mayor Gloria Costa. And Mayor Hebner.
Acosta.
Okay, and it's tied again.
Mr. Chairman, the
Yes.
rules allow for a selection by lot. Flip a coin.
That's covered in the plan. I like your way of thinking.
How about statements from the people in the district who are doing the voting?
That works for me.
So I'd like to talk about this. Teresa is amazingly qualified based on your professional background. And what has changed for me is that John Duncan is putting himself forward on an issue that is of the utmost importance to absolutely all our beaches. The UCSD study that's about to be published is in the top science journal in the world, Science. And the people leading it have measured the hydrogen sulfide in the air and found it at over 4,000 parts per billion, where one is the norm. And I see John Duncan, we can empower John to take this issue as a member of the air pollution group here. That's it, air pollution control district. Thank you. I think this is an issue that's facing us. I'm looking at this in a nonpartisan way, and I'm asking you as best to advocate and help get funds and raise this issue, not just here, not just on the Air Quality Control Board, but nationwide.
I love to second everything you just said. This is a nonpartisan issue. I think you're fully qualified technically. It's not a technical issue. But nonpartisan. I look at Coronado and your suffering as badly as you said, already alive today. So I think your advocacy, you're doing now, Sandag, your lawyer background, quite frankly, makes you careful.
Anyone else? There.
Mr. Chairman, I would just say, I mean, we're all in a difficult position because we don't dislike any of the candidates.
Right.
I appreciate, Mayor Duncan bringing Coronado more to the fold, including from a regional perspective. That's extremely valuable. My vote for Councilmember Acosta has to do with the expertise that she brings. I've been serving on this board for the last, how many years you've been dealing with me? 4 years. And I think the representations earlier about the extremely technical nature of this work is exactly true. We have incredible staff, Paula, their team, legal counsel, et cetera, who are there to advise us. But with regard to the very specific air quality issues that we deal with, I think Teresa's background by her profession and her paid work, her work as a council member, would be extremely beneficial. We have people like myself, other local elected officials who bring the voices of our community. Having someone who can be the voice of the city of Carlsbad and North and the supervisors of District 3 would be beneficial. That technical experience, though, there would be no other person on the board who could provide that. And I think it's very important. I think all of us oversee staff who are subject matter experts, and we're the ones that come in after the fact to try and oversee and check that. Having that kind of expertise, I think, would be invaluable to make sure that the oversight that this board is intended to provide is able to provide them. Lastly, I would say for my colleagues who can vote in this particular selection, there's not a member of the board that doesn't care deeply about the issue of the Tijuana River Valley. You've seen that by this board's action in recent months, where we've appropriated literally millions of dollars to provide relief to the residents of South County who are impacted by the Tijuana River Valley. That was under the leadership of Mayor Geary, a former supervisor Vargas, and others. All of us decided that this is important. So I don't believe us not selecting Mayor Duncan would be to the detriment of that issue. All of us there have been working on this issue. I just think it'd be beneficial to have a fellow board member with the level of professional experience that Teresa has to provide, again, that oversight of the staff and the millions of dollars that we spend annually to work on this issue. So I'd ask my colleagues to support this also.
And I'm happy to second what Mayor Gloria said. One of my colleagues, Deputy Mayor Kristen Becker, was very interested in this position also. And contacted Councilmember Acosta to discuss it with her, and was completely convinced that she would withdraw her nomination of Felix Becker in favor of Teresa Acosta because of her technical expertise. Hearing from the executive director and what is required for this position, and a current board member what is required for this position, I do feel that is valuable and extra. I have high regard for Mayor Duncan. And I, again, as we said, I have no ill will, and I don't think that some of the things that work for this position would be harmful at all to the issue that we are also very concerned about. So once again, I support.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Yes.
Under Robert's Rules of Orders, the chair is allowed to vote, I believe, to break a tie. Do we have a parliamentarian who could make a judgment on that? Or can we vote to acknowledge that the Robert's Rules would take precedence here? We have a ruling of the chair, and then we can affirm the ruling or have a motion to overturn the ruling to appoint a holder of the verdict. But ask for a ruling of the chair on that. Mr. Chairman, if you want to just rule it out of order, then I'll appeal your ruling and then we can vote on whether or not to overturn your ruling, thus giving you the right to break the tie.
Yeah, we're looking at the section.
Okay.
Okay, here we have two attorneys talking about it, which is scary. And because of the way, yeah, the way the rules are, in the statute, what we would have to do is declare an impasse today. And, we would have to set another city selection committee meeting. And at that time, we can agendize a setting aside the rules or amendment to the rules so that we could do like what Mayor Franklin was saying that we could do.
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna accept that as a negative ruling on my point of order. And so I would rise to appeal the point of the ruling of the chair. And I would motion that we overturn the ruling, thus giving you the right to settle the tie right now. And then if somebody wants to file a lawsuit later, they can do that.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I think that the rule is very clear here. The process for nomination and selection of ABCD board members shall proceed according to section 5 and 6 of the rules. Only those the members of the city select subcommittee may nominate and vote upon the nominations for ABCD board members to be appointed for their respective service order of district.
Right, and that's actually,
Guidance to determine which of the rules were together, so that there's clarity rather
Right.
than moving forward.
and that's the rule we're going off of, John. But I understand where you're
So,
going.
but the body has the ultimate right to interpret the rules. So if the body votes to affirm your ruling, then we can go with that, or if they vote to overturn the ruling, then you can go ahead and vote. And then if we need to later come back and do something else, sounds like it's potentially saves us the time. And I don't know if they're gonna be any closer to not an impasse at the next meeting. So I'm just trying to get us down the road here. And unless somebody wants to file a big lawsuit over it, I think we can select a member and move on with this. There's gotta be some way to break the tie. So, is there a second to my, motion to appeal the ruling of the chair? Second. I've got a second. So, Mr. Chairman, I got a motion and a second.
Make a statement here.
Sure.
Yes. I do believe that it would be important to continue this part of the hearing, voting on this position. Because it is not clear even who can vote on that, who can make that motion. Because you are outside of the voting numbers. That, I believe we just adopted. So, unfortunately, this is something that, was not foreseen. You know, what happens, what stays here is that if there are the two remaining will be voted on, and in this case, there were only two that were nominated. And, it does not seem like there is a dinner at this time, so continue. Because it is not clear that then the selection committee, the entire body, can then vote on any other motions. It states very clearly in the bylaws that only the selection committee that as defined for APCD may vote on the process. So that is what it states.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
Just pointing out that Robert's Rules of Orders, allows the chair to vote whenever the members of a question are divided. So,
Except when it's specifically addressed.
sure. So, Mr. Chair, I think we have a motion and a second. I think you should allow members to speak to the motion, and then we should have a vote on it. And then we can proceed based on the will of the body.
Who's gonna vote on it?
Well,
The
see,
the members of this body constitute the body and have the right to interpret the rules. The chair holds the power unless it's appealed to the membership of the organization, which is us. We have the right to interpret our rules. That's the way this works.
okay, I absolutely understand the Robert's rules on that, except that unfortunately, I think in this instance, it is, it's crazy the way they separated out who can vote on certain items. And so I think, what I'm gonna do is, well, I know I have a motion to second. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's the right rule of order in this situation, John. What I'm gonna do here in this case, though, is I'm gonna declare an impasse. And I'm going to, we're going to, send this, to another meeting. And we'll have that, before the expiration. And that way, we can change some of these rules. Because I don't think that anybody really thought this out, to be honest. So it's not that I'm really in disagreement with you. I just think this is what we need to do to get on with this. So.
It's my thought that the votes are not going to change in a subsequent meeting. So it sounds like there was a point of order here that my motion was out of order.
Yes.
And you ruled that it is out of order, my motion. I would appeal that ruling so that we can then decide whether my first motion is in order and we can proceed with that. And would there be, and then we can just have this done with it. And if you need to have another meeting because the lawyers figure it out later, then so be it. Otherwise, we're done with the question. So this, in my opinion, this is the expedient way to dispense with this conflict because it's not going to change. I mean, we had speeches. Is everybody present who's voting in that soup district? So it's not going to change later. So let's dispense with this item. Yeah, or go the gnashing and the future meetings.
And all you're doing is appealing the out of order ruling by the chair, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm appealing.
And so that is fair.
So if the body wants to rule my motion out of order, then I'll drop it and we go on.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I am supporting your position. I believe your position allows for addressing the issue that has come up. It hasn't apparently come up before. And therefore, at the next meeting, we can actually consider adopting the rules. That will in fact make it very clear to everyone what is the procedure that you have applied. And it could be that it then goes to the entire selection committee, but at this time, to me, it's very clear that this rule that happened with this rule that's been adopted by the entire selection committee calls for only the specific district vote, make motion and vote.
Okay.
We did that, we can undo it, but that has to be done at a future.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna go ahead, was there a second to the motion that my decision was out of order?
Yeah. So I'm gonna second it, and the reason I'm going to second is that this body will either find it out of order or will support it.
Okay,
If the body supports it, then we can support the chair casting a vote.
okay,
Then.
okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna,
Be overturned in the future.
Mayor Wells already.
The mayor, okay, also the chair could decline to take this vote based on wanting to proceed with a more clear process so that this will not happen again.
okay, Ron, really
We
quick.
have a
and then I'm
motion
gonna take
and
it.
a second, a vote is required.
Yeah, but you don't, we can discuss.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, I just have a concern with the idea that we do not have clarity here. We do have two quick legal opinions, you know, saying that we don't have clarity, we need to go. I'm not too sure what department or whatever, if this is under state regs that we need to actually get some clarification from, whether Nobody would go to FPPC for a lot of our stuff, or whether this needs to go to the Attorney General or whatever to find out what we can actually do in this case. But I have a problem with us just saying, well, we'll make up our own rules because we have that authority. I don't think we have clarity on that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna call for the vote.
I want to just recognize one more time here. I am asserting, and I have just read Robert's Rules of Order. It is very clear in Robert's rules that when there's a tie, the chair has the right to break that tie. I understand we have two different lawyers and a lot of different opinions in the room. I'm just suggesting, if later a judge says this is not correct what we did, then we wouldn't have another meeting, but I just don't see how you're gonna get the 3 on this side and the 3 on that side. Whose arm is gonna get twisted until it's broken? We just need to have resolutions so we can move on. That's what I'm suggesting. And I'm suggesting that this is actually what Robert's rules dictate in this situation. I believe that we are subject to Robert's rules here ultimately, and Robert's rules are voluminous to govern things that are unanticipated in a body like this. So that's why I'm asking for it.
I appreciate that. Okay, the motion is that the chair's ruling was out of order. And so all in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
No.
Any abstentions? Okay, it sounds as if the body says that no, my ruling is not out of order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare an impasse in this case here, and we're going to come back for a vote on it later on. And let's, we really got to get moving here and get this done so that we get the league meeting started. So let's go to District 4. So let's go to District 4. Are there any nominations for, okay, that is La Mesa, Lemon Grove, and San Diego. And we did have a letter for nomination for Dr. Campbell. So I need a motion though from the floor. Motion, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Okay, I do not hear any, so I'm just gonna declare that by acclamation then. So that'll be Dr. Campbell. And then let's go to District 5, which is the cities of Escondido, Oceanside, San Marcos, and Vista. And we have 2 letters of nomination, recommendation for nomination. That is Mayor Esther Sanchez and Councilmember Judy Fitzgerald. Do I have any motions from the floor?
I would affirm my motion for Judy Fitzgerald from Escondido.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
John Franklin. Okay, is there a motion from the floor for Mayor Sanchez?
Yes, I'll go ahead and make my own motion. Again, I'll make myself. And,
Thank you.
and he got the second.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna call the roll on that, and so there's 5 people voting on this, so I don't think that we'll have a tie on this one, so we get it done.
Only 4.
So 4, I'm sorry.
Chair, point of order, was there a second on that second motion?
Nominations need not be seconded.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's always nice to have them, but not required.
Okay.
And Mayor White,
Councilwoman Fitzgerald.
Mayor Sanchez,
Myself.
Mayor Jones,
Obviously, Councilmember Fitzgerald, thank you.
and Mayor Franklin.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Okay, thank you very much. That would indicate that Councilmember Fitzgerald would be elected that position. Okay, then, for the sake of timing here, I'm going to say meeting adjourned. Thank you.
And I will note that the Air Pollution Control District, no, sorry, not the Air Pollution Control District. The Regional Airport Authority is here to solicit nominations for the airport authority from East County cities. So the East County cities, Lisa and Key Lemon Grove, and Alcohol, if they could meet in the back here to make that selection.
Yeah.